Okay, hi there everybody. This is Trudy Benjamin's live stream at Farsight, and we're doing a little bit different this time. We're having two cameras and social distancing and the whole thing like we're supposed to be doing. And we've got some things that I'm gonna talk to her about, ask her about, and then she's gonna take it over and she'll answer your questions as well, same as before. But to begin, let me just state that Trudy is one of our teachers here at Farsight. Now, she doesn't do the teaching as part of Farsight. She does it on her own, the same as Princess does it on her own. But she's gone through our entire, teacher program, and she teaches courses in remote viewing and the way Farsight does it. Now, you have to understand that we do it differently than people in the CRV community. Our approach is like the biblical story, ask and you shall receive. So the idea behind that concept is you only know what you probe for. If you just probe and open up and say, what are you going to get? There's limited amount of information that you get through. So with our method, we probe for a lot of stuff. And that's why we use templates that are very complicated, because you have to go through those templates to probe for so many different things, and from all that we piece it together. So Trudy is trained to do that, to teach people how to go through that. And we know there are people that are interested in that, and it's nice to know that we have two people, Trudy and Princess, that do teaching. So I just wanted to start off by asking Trudy to talk a little bit about how she thinks about students. What is your feeling about student potential? In your experience, have you found that there's limitations, or do you think anybody can do this? Or what is your feeling about, because so many people have doubts about whether they can do this. What's your thoughts about that?
Honestly, at the beginning of learning SRV, I doubted myself just because of insecurity. It's honestly all in the mind. If you allow your mind to just calm itself, anybody can learn SRV. If you just go through the process of training, which is what I would love to teach anybody that's willing to go through the training process. If you go through the process of training, you're going to understand that meditation is key to learning SRV, because your mind is your tool. And if you calm your mind, then anybody can learn it.
Okay, well, let me then say, we have a lot of projects here at Farsight, and the targets that we often do at Farsight are really out there targets. I mean, we're going after the whole kitchen sink. We're trying to use remote viewing like we've got the super sports car that exists on the planet Earth, and we're going after the biggest possible questions. But that's not how you start. There's a huge ramping up process to be able to do things like that. Can you talk to the people a little bit about how people start to learn? How do they sort of look at the big projects and say, how can we ever do something like that? But can you talk to them about the initial experiences, like on the first hour of doing this kind of stuff?
Well, the first hour of learning SRV, you have to understand the vocabulary terms. CRV, ARV, and SRV are all completely different things, and not everybody understands that you have to really dedicate your time to learning the verbs and the knowledge about the words and terms that SRV uses. Once you start to get a basic understanding that all SRV is just low-level data, then you get to understand how to calm your mind and balance your emotions and balance your visuals and balance your sensory thoughts into your target. It's low-level data, so anybody can learn low-level data. Low-level data is simple terms, universal terms actually. Anybody that has a bilingual or polyglot language understands that all languages balance each other out with basic terms like land, water, mountain, so on and so forth. Those are just basic terms that you learn in the beginning of your SRV training. If you understand basic terms, then you can go ahead and recognize what your feelings are and incorporate your feelings into your sessions. You can incorporate the visuals into your sessions. Some people incorporate their thoughts into their sessions, but that's never on the first day. You only need to learn the basics on the first day.
Okay, so let's break it down to why we go after really basic things. Like, you see a lot of people ask questions like, why do we always ask for a base surface? Because you see other methods of remote viewing don't talk about that. We ask for a base surface, and then what kind of thing is on the base surface? Is it water or is it land? Can you just pick on base surfaces? What are the variations that we sort of look for the base surfaces in order to sort of figure out those base surfaces? That'll give people a good understanding of sort of the way we approach getting these low-level data and putting them together.
Once you start off a session, well, at least your first session, you have to know if there is a base surface or not. Lots of people in the SRV community love talking about UFOs, but UFOs are usually never on the ground. So the first thing we need to know in a session is your session on the floor? Like, is anything able to be touched on the ground? Can your session be related to land or water or a mountain or anything that has to do with foliage? And if you're not sensing that, then maybe there is a non-surface structure in the air that we're dealing with in this session. And that is usually after you learn to probe for a base surface. That's the first session you usually begin to learn about. How to determine whether or not you're on the base or you're in the air.
Okay, so let's go after when you first learned. Now, not now, you're like one of the world's biggest pros. So, but when you remember back to when you were just beginning, when you first probed land and then probed water, when two different targets, one had land, one had water, what was the difference in feeling, if you can remember back? I know it's ancient history, but if you can remember back to what you felt as the difference between the two when you were a newbie, not now, but when you were a newbie, what was the difference between those two feelings?
Land is a hard surface. It's very hard. It's straight to the point. There's something that I sense personally, not everybody learns the same way. And that's one of the beautiful things about being a teacher is I get to study how different minds work. Personally, I had to study my own mind first, and I've recognized that my mind likes to visualize memories whenever I'm probing targets. Memories of pictures and memories of conversations, memories of words that continue to come to my mind. And when I'm probing for land or a base surface that is related to land, I think of like, I think of things like gravel or hard rock or like the beach or anything that is related to a picture. I visualize things. I'm like a complete artist, so my right brain wants to just draw stuff immediately, which is what the flash sketches are for, but I first have to think and visualize land, any type of land. It's a picture.
Okay, let me switch gears here a little bit and embarrass you a little bit. A lot of people wonder about whether women can remote view better than men, because in the beginning, in the military days, basically everybody, not everybody, but everybody that was public, they were all men. And now they're old white men, but they're all men. And then we come in and we really start showcasing just people. And people keep on asking the same question, are women now better than men or anything like that. And I keep answering the YouTube comments by saying, no, it doesn't matter. One's ethnicity doesn't matter, one's gender doesn't matter, whatever it does. But what matters is perseverance, determination, constancy. And what is your feeling about that in terms of, do you think there's anything special about one type of person versus another type of person? But I basically, what I'm trying to ask is, can you tell the people how much you worked to get to be able to do what you do now, so that they can understand that it's not like just a natural thing that just is good for certain people but not for other people? I don't think people realize how much work you put in over so many months and months and weeks and weeks and days and days. Could you just talk a little bit about that?
Whenever you're studying anything, it takes a lot of repetition. Repetition is key to permanent body memory. And SRV is honestly body memory. If your mind is continuously practicing and reminding itself, I'm connected to all things through consciousness and subconsciousness. It's really, really you blocking yourself after a certain point of time. An insecurity in your mind saying or repeating the phrase, I'm not good enough, or I'm not really psychic, or I don't really know what I'm doing, is gonna block you from actually just being present in the moment. You just need to be presently aware of your thoughts, presently aware of your emotions, presently aware of continuously writing down data instead of just thinking about it. Because all of us are capable of intuitively thinking thoughts. Intuition is a thing. And SRV is a requirement of intuition mixed with repetition of a strategy. And it took me months. It took me months to be confident in myself. But that was honestly just me blocking myself from trusting my data. And sometimes the data would be correct and I would still think that I wasn't good enough. Like I would flash sketch and show beautiful pictures of every single scene of the target, and I'd still go, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's really what blocks me from getting the target correct even more. So the process of training was just a repetition, and honestly perfect guidance from Princess, because she's the one who taught me how to calm my mind for real. So it's just about the training and the teacher, and a balance between the two.
Actually, I could add a little bit here with regard to the the data that you think is wrong. The conscious mind, our experience has been, the conscious mind never rejects anything that it creates. So we have found out, and this is something basically that was known even way in the early days of when remote viewing was first being explored back in the 70s and 80s. But we have found out for big time that if someone comes in and says they're really confident about their data, like this is really great, very often it's not a good session. And if what you hear Trudy saying happens, like they doubt it, like this can't be wrong, so they're often apologetic, like Aziz or the Princess or Trudy or Kamaya, they'll just say, look, if it's not good, I'll try it again. I don't know what's wrong. Then they have all those doubts. That means the conscious mind is making the doubting. That means the data came right from the higher self, right from the subspace mind. That means they're probably great. So the general rule, if the viewer is really confident, I have serious worries. If the viewer is really upset and worried and thinking they might lose their job and the whole thing is terrible, I know the session's great. So the doubt, but it's true. And Trudy's experienced this so many times. When she really doubts herself, and I'm saying, wow, that's wonderful. And I take the session.
It's contradicting, honestly. It's contradicting. He sounds loco in the mind when he says, if you guys think you're terrible, then this is great. It sounds weird, but really the mind is based on your subconscious and your conscious. Usually when you're overthinking too much and you're writing down the thoughts that are coming to your mind, the data is just flowing to you. But if you're confident, you're like, yeah, this session is about the movie I watched last weekend. I know exactly what this session is. I'm gonna write it all down, and if Courtney doesn't think it's right, then he better check. It's never right. It's never right if you're too confident. But after a while, you just have to detach and depolarize your mind. If you depolarize your mind and stop thinking if it's right and stop thinking if it's wrong and just write down data, that's when your mind is calm after meditation. The meditation is the most key to SRV. It's a very unique one, and I loved it because that was the first ever thing that I needed to learn. And after learning that, it calmed my mind from trying to think if I was right or wrong. And it also calmed my insecurities because once you come out of a meditation, you're not really thinking about much. You're just thinking about sitting still. Stillness of the mind and being presently aware of your thoughts is the process of doing your SRV session. After the session's done and you look back and you're like, why did I draw a UFO flying so fast, Courtney? Then you're confused and doubting yourself. But the process of writing it down, usually you're calm.
Okay, well look, I got one more question for her, then she's going to talk about some stuff that she wants, then she's going to answer all your questions. Well, as many questions as she can fit in the time remaining. And the one question I have, so we talked about a lot about low-level stuff and beginning with remote viewing and so on. Now I'd like to go to the whole opposite end. Now, Trudy, you probed a lot of people when you were learning, when you were in training and so on, and you probed and felt the emotions of the people that were being affected by Hiroshima and Nagasaki, when people were actually in a concert and watching a concert. You were probing and getting all that. And then, as you became the pro that you are, we started to send you to other people, such as extraterrestrials. So can you just talk, and that's and so much of the audience sort of knows that we do deep mind probes of extraterrestrials. Can you just explain what was either your first or one of your most unusual experiences in terms of the difference between that particular, you don't have to talk about all of them, just one, pick one, that particular extraterrestrial mind and the normal human mind. What did you feel, just like you talked about land being different than water in terms of how it feels, pick one extraterrestrial mind and then compare it. What was the difference between that? Why did you feel that was not a human mind versus a human mind?
Oh, gosh. I'm very visual when I'm doing my SRV sessions. Like I said, images flash to my mind, kind of like someone scrolling through a PowerPoint and scrolling really fast. That's what my mind is like. It's kind of jarring sometimes, but the visuals I get when I'm probing for a human mind and when I'm probing for an ET mind, weird faces. Not all ETs look the same and not all humans look the same, but human anatomy is very specific, very specific. I draw a lot and I make art a lot, but the faces of an extraterrestrial is not the same anatomy. It's just a visual of something that's a deformation.
But what about the mental flavor though? What about the mental flavor?
Do you hear him? Oh, okay. So the mindset. Usually I'm thinking of thoughts about a task that needs to be done, but the mindset of an ET is usually about something that's right nearby, or similar to a ship, or similar to working on a task on another being. Usually I'm sensing things related to the language that's being spoken. And it's not usually words. The thoughts of an ET is usually like, it's not English. So the thoughts are about a language, and it's usually a frequency sound. To me, it sounds like a really loud hum, but an animal-like hum, and I can never distinguish it and I never understand what the words are. I can understand the feeling of it. The language is not the same as English, of course. So I then determine that the mind and the visuals that I see, if there's a sound that's just really weird and the visuals of a face that's nowhere near human, I equal that to ET.
Interesting. Okay. Well, look, I'm going to stop my part of grilling her on these different questions and let Trudy just talk about what she wants to talk about and answer your questions. So this is the last you'll see of me for now. And Trudy, take it away.
Bye, Courtney. Well, hi guys. What are your questions? I want to see them. Even if you think you can't ask a question, go ahead and ask. I'm looking at all of them. Honestly, I would love to teach anybody that's willing and open to learning SRV. You can go ahead and email me at info@trudybenjamin.com because I'm privately taking students every single month. And that's going to be great. I'm so excited. I'm really excited about that. It's always fun to see the experiences that my students have. For the past couple of months, I've been teaching a couple of students, and it's beautiful to witness. It's very beautiful to witness the development of a mind who's learning SRV. It's kind of like the tables being turned for me. Also, if you really do have any questions about anything I do, you can just check out trudybenjamin.com. If you do email me about inquiring to learn about SRV, then I'll tell you the costs in the email. All of that can be described in the emails. I'll type it. You ready? There you go. Okay, yeah. Also, tell me about you guys. I would like to know how we can network together, because the SRV community is very specific and very tiny, and Corona has not allowed us to have a conference publicly. So tell me more about what you guys do. I personally, I'm an artist. I like to create art. I'm a private homeschool teacher, and I also like to make music and model. So let's network. Tell me what you guys do internationally, all around the world, because hopefully Farsight will begin traveling very, very soon. Right, Courtney? Okay, right, yes, yes. What do I think about the things you get to view, ET's past lives and things like that? Wow. Lately, I've been trying my best to understand understand past lives. I've been remote viewing a lot of past lives in the past couple of months, and I've recognized a lot of patterns between remote viewing past lives. After the session is done, well, during the session, I don't know what the session is about, but after the session is done, I then get to know based on who the tasker is. And whenever a tasker tells me that I'm remote viewing their past life, their life is usually the same. For some reason, a reincarnation is usually living out the same life. And I haven't remote viewed my past life, so I don't know if that's really how it's working, but every single person that has given me the task to remote view a past life has had the same life as their past life. It's very trippy. More questions. Your age does not hinder you to be able to SRV. No, it does not. All you need to do is be able to understand what your mind is thinking about, write it down, and detach from it. It's just being about present, being about being present in the moment. Oh my gosh. Antonio Hernandez says, what do you mean when you asked yourself if you had pointy ears when you were in the Orion constellation system? Don't get Courtney started, please. So Courtney has this he has this vivid image of, I don't know how I got there. Honestly, he will tell you in a rant, but he has this vivid image that all of us together in the SRV community came from the Orion constellation system, and there was a war there. And in the end, our spirits travel to these bodies so that we can teach how to remote view so that everybody can understand what's going on in the galaxy, since the government doesn't want to explain any of that. So I had a very vivid astral projection, and I vividly visualized myself as a different being, and I was the color blue. I had really big eyes, but I had pointy ears, and I was flying on a hawk. Don't ask why. So I don't know what that was related to. It was an astral projection. I wrote it down, didn't understand it. So to mess with Courtney, I asked him, hey, in the Orion system, did I have pointy ears? And I wanted to see if he would say yes, but he didn't actually respond. He just laughed, and that was the end of the video, which is why it's placed there. And I still haven't gotten my answer, God. So yes, that's the reason. That's the reason why I said that. Oh my goodness. If there was a war in the Orion system, I still want to know if I got pointy ears or not. You know, that would have been cool. Either way. Hey, also, I would really like to start doing some partnerships with different people internationally. Any type of partnerships. Like, I would like to work with you guys, because so far, you guys have been so communicative when it comes to vocalizing how you feel about Farsight, and I thank you so much for doing that. I read all of your emails and respond to them all, and I would like to start doing partnerships and networking with anybody that's open to doing that. Feel free to email me if you're interested as well. Yeah, I'm also a polyglot. I love speaking different languages, and I'd like to learn Japanese and French. That would be really fun. Are there any people that speak Japanese in this live stream, or French? Here's my email. I'll type it. Ready? Here you go. I do speak Portuguese. Hello. Awesome! Ooh, Japanese people are in here. Cool. That'd be great. See, this is beautiful. Do I find timelines bleeding over? Oh my God, yes. So I don't know why, but I really feel like you really have to write down all of your dreams. Honestly and truly, this is one thing I've learned from reading books about Tesla and Eckhart Tolle. I really noticed that writing down your dreams, writing down your visuals and meditations and astral projections, writing all of those down will help you determine which timeline you continue to go to and what loops you continue to repeat, because timelines do crossover. The Mandela effect is real. Anyways, but yes, I really do think that timelines cross over in a weird way. I'm not sure why, but yes, I think so. How am I doing today? I'm doing well, thank you. That's a graceful question. A magician journal. Honestly, some people call it dream journals, but hey, magician journal works too. If you wanted to know when a person was doing many good or bad things, how would you remote view their involvement? Well, you would have to have a tasker give you a target. Remote viewing your own targets will cause you to feel like you can create what the session looks like. And you cannot alter reality with an RV session. You can only have a tasker give you a session so that you don't know anything but the 8-digit coordinates like 45637345. That's an example. And then you can remote view your session. But if you know what the tasker is giving you, then you're just gonna write stuff down, kind of like, yeah, I know exactly what's going on here. They told me that I'm remote viewing this today. Like, it won't work that way. You're just gonna make stuff up and it's not gonna really come into fruition or reality. Have I ever been followed after remote viewing? I've had stalkers email me, yeah, but not followed. How would I know if I've been followed? God, no, I don't know. I've been email stalked, like, weirdly, but not followed. Good question. Am I listening to any music? If I go to sleep at night? Meditation music. Honestly, if there is meditation music, then I'll listen to it if there's no advertisements. But I try not to sleep with music on. I do make music, by the way. I just posted my SoundCloud link to my website, trudybenjamin.com. You can listen to the music I just released. It's pretty trippy, honestly. I hear lots of sounds when I'm doing sessions. I hear lots of voices when I'm doing sessions. And I'm a very beautiful, communicator when it comes to how I feel. So I put that into art, like painting, and I put that into music. And I released my SoundCloud, if you want to check that out. It's Trudy Benjamin. Of course. It would be. Ooh. What kind of meditation do I do? Transcendental meditation. If any of you guys are really interested in learning SRV, then you will start to understand, and I will teach you how to do transcendental meditation. It's very calming to the mind. It's similar to a mixture of Qigong, Pranayama, and asanas. If you understand what those are, then you understand what I'm talking about through transcendental meditation. But if you're interested in learning, please email me. I would definitely love to teach you. Am I vegan? Yes, I am. Plant-based all day, honey. I personally am vegan because of an iron deficiency that I had 3 years ago that I got rid of because I became vegan. It wasn't because of cultural preferences. It was because of my health. Thank you for that question. Yes, thank you. Do you think zodiac signs mean anything? I do. My ancestors have taught me that the star constellations show vivid pictures every single month. Those pictures are related to the time you were born and the coordinates of where you were born. So I trust that that relates to how you act and how you respond to your environment. Zodiacs are very important. Although it's different all around the world, it's still important. I trust that you will see how important it is if you start studying it too. Are some RV targets dangerous to remote view? Yes. Hey, Courtney, what's that target we can't ever remote view for religious purposes? Or else we could get in trouble. Like,
Can you ask a question?
yeah. So the question is, are there some RV targets that are dangerous to remote view? Like the target of drawing God in a specific religion. Which religion is that?
No, there's no targets that are difficult, but we don't do anything dealing with Islam.
Islam.
We don't do that. Just so this.
Just no. We can't post anything about targets that are related to SRV towards Islam gods.
Everything's okay.
Everything else is okay. That's just a cultural thing. We just don't.
And that's because the sketches would have sketches of Muhammad, and they would consider that a violation.
Yeah, if we sketch anything that has to deal with Muhammad and Islam, we could get in a lot of trouble. Just no, we can't do anything related to that in our corporation, at least for Farsight Institute. We can't publicly do that. But everything else, I mean, yeah. ETs and aliens, sure, cool. We can do that. We can RV voodoo, we can RV Area 51, but not Islam. No, we're not joking. That's serious. Because that goes against the religion that they practice. And that's like something that we can get threatened for. Like our whole lives could be threatened. And that's a thing. Oh, wow. Sleep paralysis. I honestly think that sleep paralysis is the mind trying to block you from recognizing what's presently happening in your dream. You are in control of your mind. Your mind is not in control of you. So sleep paralysis is you literally thinking that your mind is in control of your body. Spirits or no spirits, aliens or no aliens, you're still in control of your body and your mind. There's no excuse for that. So sleep paralysis is you really feeling like limited. You can stop yourself from sleep paralysis, but it has nothing to do with anything else but your mind blocking itself. SRV sessions for anything that has to do with drawing is Muhammad in Islam is just for ethical reasons. It's not like gonna destroy our minds. It's just we don't want anybody to get mad. Are there some nice areas? Wait, are there some nice what in Area 51 out there? I don't know what that meant, but hey, can you type that in? I would like to answer it. Do remote viewers need protection from negative beings or similar? No. No, you don't. Not at all. You just remote viewing a session that has is either going to happen in the future or has happened in the past. That's it. No one's going to put you, you don't need to protect yourself from something that has already happened or something that hasn't happened yet. You're okay. You'll learn that if you ever do become a part of the SRV training that I'm allowing everybody to openly email me about. No, you cannot assign yourself your own targets. You have to have a tasker, which is what your teacher would be for, or what your tasker would be for if someone knows exactly what the target is. Oh my gosh, how do you guys like the new the new light board? Like, those are really cool visually. I think it's more fun to look at. What are your thoughts on it? Ooh. Can you remote view a spirit that is in our lifetime that has passed from their lifetime? I've tried to give that type of target to a student of mine. She got that target accurately. It was a Hindu spirit and it was Saraswati. She got the target very, very accurately. And the depictions of the emotions from that target related to the Bhagavad Gita, like visual representation of Saraswati. That is a spirit that people pray to in the Hindu religion, and she depicted it very well. So yes, you are able to SRV spirits and or gods and goddesses. When remote viewing, do you sense, oh, California represent, hello. When you do sense visual solid pictures, do you see through the pictures, or do the visuals remind you of things that you've experienced, or is it like watching a yes. So when I'm personally, it's not the same way for everybody. Everybody learns different, and everybody SRV is different. Personally, when I'm remote viewing, I see images kind of like scrolling through a TV, just like next channel, next channel, next channel, next channel. That's my mind, honestly. If I think too hard, or if I don't try my best to dive deeper into the session, this is for me, not everybody, then I'll, similar to flipping through channels, I'll flip through the channels and go to the static channel. My mind will go like that. It would just go to the static channel when I'm SRVing, and I'm just sitting there going, it's not good. So I have to continuously visualize, like, what's going on in the present moment? What is my body sensing? How do I feel? What do I smell? What do I hear? What do I taste? What are my emotions? Otherwise, I'm just scrolling through HBO, just nonstop. Hey, if anybody has, the connects to anybody that has to do with Star Wars, please let us know, because I really want to know if we can get them to watch our video about the creation of Star Wars. That was a really, really trippy video, and that session for me was, I have some questions to ask. Let's just say that. Can anybody help us with that? Yes? No? Maybe? Can I assign you a task to test your accuracy? Oh yes. If you want to assign me a task, or if you want me to do a remote view session for you, or so that you can see if I really know what I'm doing, then please email me. I am open to that, definitely. I've done a lot of sessions for the fans at Farsight lately in the past 4 months during quarantine. It's so beautiful to connect with you guys. It truly is. Internationally, like, connecting with you guys is great. So if you guys want to do, a thing where you give me a task and I remote view your task, then email me. Go ahead, right now. We'll see. I want to see your tasks. But you cannot tell me anything about the target. Otherwise, I will not do it for you. If you give me any hints relating to your target, I will then consciously, not get the target right. Talk about my Star Wars questions. Yeah, I got a lot of questions. So, that session, honestly, anything that has to do with science, I'm a real science fanatic. Like, I study a lot about Tesla. By the way, if I can get a Tesla, that's my goal. I want a Tesla. But I study anything that has to do with science and futurism. So the Star Wars session really reminded me a lot about Tesla's inventions, and that's what I continue to visualize, because I visualize things. Remember that. Not everybody learns and not everybody does SRV sessions the same way. But personally, I see visuals. So the entire time I continued to visualize inventions that glowed things, but projected them kind of like a projector screen, but in the air, kind of like, oh my God, this is a weird analogy, but I don't know if you've ever watched Ben 10 or anything that has to do with the hologram watch, where you just go like this and then you go like this. Oh my God. But I continued to visualize that when I was doing my SRV sessions for the Star Wars thing. I still to this day haven't watched Star Wars. I'm not sorry. I want to watch it when the universe allows me to. I will, I promise. But I still haven't watched Star Wars. I've watched Star Trek. Don't get me wrong. That's a good one. But I haven't watched Star Wars. So the visuals I got was not of Star Wars. Aziz got visuals of Star Wars. I didn't. I got visuals of Tesla. And I continue to see machines and like spaceships just flying back and forth and beautiful bright lights and a big huge building in the middle of a desert that reminded me of some scene from the Avatar. And it was beautiful, but I have some questions that I'd personally like to ask the creator of Star Wars, because deep mind probing him was very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, yeah, I'll move on to another question. Have I ever remote viewed ETs that had malicious thoughts to human beings? You know, someone evil or someone that is deemed evil to society does not visualize themselves as evil. They think they're doing something right, or like the universe needs them to do something right. And yes, I have remote viewed an ET that had malicious thoughts, shadow, towards human beings. And you can watch that video. It's of Zeus. I will not spoil it for those that haven't watched it, but Zeus is not, no, Zeus is not a good ET. Like, no, that was a no for me. I'm not here for it. Yeah, see, yeah, just go watch the Zeus one. I won't spoil that for you. But just know that session made me cry. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm moving on. Okay, can you remote view technology and how to build free energy? I cannot remote view how to do things. Wow, can I? I can't give myself tasks to do that, so you would probably have to task me and I'd help you understand more. But how to build free energy devices, like I can remote view on what it looks like and what the mindset of the person making it is like, but I have to remote view something that is a actual target, something that is like there, something that the tasker even knows about. I can't just remote view to see if I'll create something new randomly. Like, there has to be something there for me to remote view it. If you're interested in tasking me, please email me. I will help you. What about raw? Next question. You'll see the video when the video comes out. Deep mind probing is one of the most important things to understand how something is going to work or how something is made or the source of something. Uncle Salvo says, how creepy on a scale from 1 to 10 is it when a subject looks back at you? Subjects don't look at me. Like, that's not how it works. I'm not like, I'm not going into the spirit realm like Korra or the Avatar and just looking at stuff and then coming back and going, hey, this is what I got. I'm just writing down thoughts. Honestly, I'm writing down visuals and thoughts. I'm not writing down things that I'm jumping into like I'm jumping out of my body and astral projecting and flying there and going, well, hey dude, hey, what's up? Nothing much. Like, that's not how it works. I'm sorry, but you'll learn if you want to learn. You'll learn if you ever do start training with me for SRV. That's not how it works. When will the raw video be out? I don't know. Courtney, when will the raw video be released?
What's that?
When will the raw video be released?
15th.
All right. Oh, I'm ready to watch that. I haven't watched it. Oh my gosh. So September 15th is when the raw video will be released. Jeez, man. Yeah. Huh. Go ahead. You'll see it. I'm not saying anything. Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything about that. If you want to learn, Crazy Tika, yes, if you want to learn, go ahead and email me. Don't worry, I got you. I will teach anybody that's open to starting their SRV training. Like, I'm excited for this video too, trust me. Do you ever feel like you're intruding on someone's privacy? Combed Autumn says, because I wouldn't like someone spying on me secretly. Well, how do you know if someone's spying on you if they're doing it in secret? That's a good question. Yeah, no, I mean, hey, I don't give myself targets, so get ask Courtney. I don't personally feel like I'm intruding on anybody. But if the creator of Star Trek really feels like I intruded on him while deep mind probing, then I can give him, I would love to have that conversation privately, you know? Let's have a one-on-one conversation so that we can see how you feel about me deep mind probing you. But I've never had anybody deep mind probe me, so I don't know how it feels to be intruded on. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Have I ever remote viewed Planet X or Nibiru? You know, I can't give myself tasks. I would love to probe for Anunnakis. I would love to probe for Nibiru. I would love to probe for Planet X. Please give me that target so I can know. I can't give it to myself. Go ahead and email me. How has your work at Farsight challenged and changed your personal religious beliefs? Well, it has engaged me more into studying my own mind and how to calm my own mind and to practice multiple different ways of balancing the mind through spirit and science. Yeah, I've definitely changed my perspective on God because of SRV. I've recognized that God is not a floating dude in the sky in a cloud. I have a broader perspective of what the word God means in multiple languages and in multiple visuals now because of SRV. It's very beautiful. It has challenged my views in a beautiful way. Let's say that. Also, if there's any any of you guys that are living in ATL or Atlanta, please comment down below. If you live in Georgia, just give a thumbs up. Just tell me that you're here. I want to see who's actually living in this area. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful group chat right now. I really would like to work with anybody that's open to doing partnerships with me, by the way. I do want to, I'm like for the full moon, it's a full moon, yes. If anybody practices understanding astrology, you would understand that this is the last day of the full moon. My goal is to open a academy, and I want to open an unschool academy. I want to partnership with anybody that can help me grow this for my corporation. I want to have a space for this unschool academy so that I can teach SRV there, so that I can teach kids from K through 8th grade how to learn things that they're not being taught in school anymore. Lots of kids worldwide at the moment are being taught online improperly, and they're not really being taught things that will help them in life. So I want you guys to tell me if you are able to work with me or partnership with me worldwide. It doesn't matter. Just let me know if you're interested in helping me gain this space for my unschool academy so that I can teach SRV and so that I can teach kids art and things that aren't taught in school anymore. Oh, California and England, New Zealand. Yes, that's my full moon goal. Like, I'm gonna manifest a Tesla X and an academy by the end of 2020, and I affirm it. That's my goal. Please, anybody help me? Please, God, I ask you, help me, you know? Montana, ooh, North Atlanta, thank you. Hello, North Atlanta. South Africa, Brazil, hello. Hi, Brazil. Hungary, Vegas. I would love to come back to Vegas. I was in Vegas in March. That was a beautiful place. Please. I'm interested in traveling the world. That's why I want to see where you guys are from. Russia, Las Vegas, San Diego, LA. Yes. Oh my goodness. Africa, Wyoming, Chicago. Hello. Well, this was fun talking to you guys. Ooh, Germany. Hello, wie geht's? A Tesla is basically a microwave oven on wheels. It's really bad for you. Sorry. Do you own a Tesla? Tell me how it works. I would love to know. Alaska and Denmark and Australia. Please contact me so that I can see or network with any of you guys worldwide. I'm open to networking with you guys. Okay? And also, check out my website. It's free to see at any time. And for anybody that wants to send me tasks or taskings for private sessions, that's my email. And if you're interested in training, that's my email as well. If you just want to talk, that's my email, you know? All right. And also, thank you. Have a great day, you guys. This has been the greatest live stream ever. I'll see you soon.